Hey guys, welcome back. I am really excited about this video today because I'm going to do a 30 random facts about me. Now, I got this idea from Abadabs, if you subscribe to her. So I have actually done this video before, and I will link it below. I did a two-part thing over 5 years ago. Where I did one video was 25 facts and then the other one was 25 facts. So I did a total of 50 random facts about myself. So if you happen to go watch those videos and see how awkward I was back then, you will see like some of the facts are the same that I'm gonna say. But also if you hear anything weird in the background, it's because my dog is actually in my filming room with me. For whatever reason, she never ever does that, but she wanted to be in here with me today. So if you hear snoring or something, that's her. So let's get started. These are 30 random facts about myself. I also have them all written down here. So if you see me looking down, it's because, how am I supposed to remember all that? I had to write them all down, okay? Number 1, I have 3 middle names. So my name is Tiffany K. Ann Lynn Johnson. So I have 3 middle names. I was named after some of my aunts on my mom's side of the family. So she actually gave me some of their middle names. So I've always thought that was interesting. Most people don't have 3 middle names. I typically just go by Tiffany K. Number 2, I am a little bit obsessed with weather. So I live in a part of the country where we deal with tornadoes and snow and ice part of the year, and it's just sometimes the weather can get a little crazy where I live in Arkansas. If you didn't know that, there's you another extra fact. I'm from Arkansas. A lot of you guys ask me that, but we do get tornado warnings and icing and stuff during part of the winter, and so I'm a little bit obsessed with the weather. If there's any kind of storm or anything going on, I'm constantly pulling up my Weather Channel app, not sponsored, and checking the radar and looking at warnings, pulling up live streams on Facebook of like weathermen doing stuff, and because I get a little scared of storms, especially like thunderstorms and tornadoes and stuff. I get scared, so I'm constantly like checking the radar. Anytime there's rain or anything, I'm always checking the radar, so I'm a little bit obsessed with weather. Number 3, my favorite food is pizza, and it's always been pizza, and it's always gonna be pizza. I don't know if I've ever had any bad pizza before, honestly. I'm pretty sure I could eat it every single day, and I would be totally fine with that. The only stipulation is I don't want any kind of veggies on it. It has to be pepperoni, cheese, or just meat. No peppers, onions, stuff like that. Number 4, so from the age of 3 and on, I was raised solely by my dad. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 3. My mom had a lot of alcohol and drug issues, and that caused my dad to get sole custody of me. So I have always been very close to my dad, and I definitely value his opinion on everything. We talk about everything together. So yeah, I was raised by a single dad, which is not really the norm. You know, it's usually the single mom. But I've always been so thankful for my dad because I don't really know how he did it. He raised me by himself. I mean, my grandma was around to help. And I did go see my mom. I went like every other weekend. I did that whole kind of, what do you call it, like visitation, like custody kind of thing. And I do still have a relationship with my mom, but she has always struggled with drug and alcohol issues my whole life. So yeah, my dad raised me. Number 5, I have only been to 7 different states. So I've never been on a plane before. I don't know if I would ever want to get on a plane. But all the states I've been to are surrounding Arkansas, and so a couple of them I've just like barely been into, you know, like driving through the edge or something. So I don't travel a lot. I do enjoy traveling from time to time, but I am definitely a homebody, and I if I'm gone from home very long, I start worrying about things, and I just like being home, so I don't travel much. Number 6, I can do this. I've been able to do that since I was like a little kid, and I've always thought, I'm so cool because I can do that. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody else that that I know that can do that. I always call it like 3-leaf clover. Number 7, I do not like huge, large groups of people. And a large group of people can be like, you know, 10 people or more. Like, I just don't really like being around groups of people. It gives me anxiety. It makes me nervous. I'm super awkward and shy. I do think I have a little bit of social anxiety at times. So I'm weird. But, yeah, large groups of people, something about it, I just always feel like everybody's looking at me and like thinking, like wondering what I'm doing and like why am I so weird? Why am I so quiet? I don't know. I don't like large groups of people. Number 8, I am a very picky eater. The amount of foods that I won't eat is pretty numerous. I don't like onions, tomatoes, peppers. You guys saw me put green onions in my quiche that I made like a couple weeks ago, but that is like a big step for me. But if I happen to eat a food that has onions or peppers in it, I don't just like freak out and throw up and like, ah! I have come accustomed my whole life to picking those foods out of my food. So I just don't like them. And I mean, if I happen to be eating something and I crunch down on an onion, I'm like, oh, that's an onion. Yuck. I don't like that. So yeah, I'm really picky eater. Number 9, when I was about 8 years old, I had my tonsils and my adenoids. I think your adenoids are back here somewhere. I had those removed, and that's the only surgery I've ever had. When I was younger, I would get tonsillitis all the time, and I was getting sick a lot. So I did finally get those removed, and that helped me tremendously. Number 10, I listen to all different kinds of music, but my favorite kind of music is rock. Classic rock, like late 70s, 80s, even 90s and today rock. I just really like me some electric guitar and some drums. And I love to sing, but I do not sing in front of anybody. That includes my husband. I know that probably sounds really weird, but I'll be dumb and like la 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 do stuff like that in front of him. But as far as actually singing, like, you know, actually putting effort into it, I don't like to do that in front of anyone. Which, yeah, people probably think is really weird, but singing has always been a really personal thing to me, because I feel like I'm an okay singer, honestly, but I don't do it in front of anybody, and I just don't like to. It makes me nervous. Everything makes me nervous. Fact number 200, I am a very nervous person. Number 11, my favorite sport is basketball. And I actually played basketball when I was in like 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. And then once I got into high school, I really wanted to try out for the team because I loved it that much. But once again, I was too shy to even try out for the team because I knew if I made the team, we were going to be like traveling different places, and I didn't have any friends that played sports. So I was like, I don't even want to get into that, and I just didn't even try out for the team because I was too nervous. But to this day, I still love, love, love to go shoot hoops. I'm not great at I'm not a great basketball player by any means. I'm not good at dribbling and handling the ball, but I love to shoot baskets. That's like, so much fun. Number 12, I've kind of already covered this, but I'm a really shy person. If I'm around people that I am not, I don't know, I haven't known very long, I'm going to be very awkward and shy. And it takes me a long time to open up to people. But once I do, I feel like I am on my videos. I'm very outspoken and like goofy and stuff like that. And that's why I love making YouTube videos, because I feel like I can totally be myself. A lot of people I know are really surprised that I make YouTube videos because I'm so quiet in person, and I've pretty much always been that way. Number 13, I love animals. Now, that doesn't include like all animals like snakes and spiders and stuff like that. But I mean, like, you know, dogs. And I'm not a big cat person, but I love animals. Like whenever I see like a pet, you know, somebody's pet, I get so excited. I just, I love, my dog is right here laying on the bed next to me. She is my child and I love her so much. And I feel like I connect with animals. I know that sounds really weird, but I really love pets, and I love my goats and my chickens. If you didn't know that, I currently have 17 goats and 15 chickens. So I just love animals. I even considered being a vet whenever I was younger. I wanted to be a vet when I grew up. Number 14, this is a really random one. I don't have a Twitter. Is that weird? I feel like everybody has a Twitter account, and Twitter's been around for like a long time now, and I still feel like Twitter is like a new thing. I remember when it came out and I was like, well, I remember back in the day when I had a MySpace and Facebook was the new thing, and I was like, I don't want to get a Facebook because MySpace is the coolest. But then I eventually got a Facebook, but then Twitter came around and I kind of did the same thing. I was like, ew, I don't want a Twitter. Facebook is cool. And I really just never got a Twitter, but I feel like that's weird. I feel like lots of people have Twitter accounts. Number 15, I have a half sister and a half brother, but I rarely see them, and neither one of them ever really lived with me growing up, so I'm technically an only child. And I loved it. I liked it just being me. 16. Okay, this one could probably get its own video. I don't know if I haven't really told many people about this. When I was 14, I had my first boyfriend, and I met him on the internet. So, but it wasn't like a weird thing like where he was a stranger. He was one of my friends, like my actual physical friends that I had at school. It was his cousin, and he lived in Arizona. So, okay, my friend's cousin, he lives in Arizona. He's like, hey, you should talk to my cousin that lives in Arizona. And we chatted on Yahoo Messenger. Do you guys remember Yahoo Messenger? I was obsessed with that. It was basically like the texting. Before you actually had texting on phones, it was texting on the computer. But that's where we met, was online, and we chatted like, I remember all summer long. And then it was the weirdest thing because I still don't even know why, but his family moved to my town from Arizona, and he ended up like going to my school for a short amount of time, and it was so weird. I was like, why? Isn't that weird? Like a 14-year-old boy and his family moved, like just happened to move where you live. I don't know. It was a really weird thing. But yeah, my first boyfriend when I was 14, I met him on the internet. So I think it only lasted like a summertime, like a 3 or 4 month span, and then we broke up. So it was really weird. Number 17, I cannot stand snoring. If I'm trying to sleep and somebody in my house or my husband, he doesn't snore very much, thankfully. If somebody is snoring, it drives me bananas. I cannot stand it. Any kind of repetitive like sound, like that drives me so crazy. I don't like it. If my husband is like sick or something, like he's got something wrong with his nose, like sinus infection or whatever, or sometimes when he sleeps on his back, he'll snore, I will like punch him or kick him and make him stop. And he's not even snoring very loud at all, but I just cannot stand any kind of snoring or anything like that. Number 18. So I started vlogging / making videos way back in 2011. So when I started making videos, I was posting them just on Facebook for my friends and family to see, and it was basically just vlogs. It wasn't unboxing videos or anything like that. I didn't start that until I started my YouTube channel, but I knew like right off the bat when I started making videos that I really enjoyed it. So I'm so glad that I'm still doing it like 7 years later. That's crazy. So I started posting videos on YouTube in January of 2013. And that seems like so long ago. And I currently have over 500 videos, which that's a lot of videos. Number 19. I am super sensitive. So I am always worrying about what people think of me, what people say about me. Do people even like me? I worry about that a lot. But even though I'm a sensitive person and I do cry quite a bit, I try to hide it from everybody. I ran out of memory, but I'm back. So anyways, I'm a sensitive person. Back to that. Probably not the greatest trait to have if you make YouTube videos, because people can leave some very rude, mean comments. So maybe YouTube helps me not to be so sensitive. At least on the computer anyways, or on my phone. Number 20. I like LaCroix. A lot of people hate this stuff, but I love the orange and the mango flavor. It is so good. I did see a couple articles online very recently that there's like a lawsuit against LaCroix right now because there's some kind of pesticide or some kind of something in this that's not good for you. But until they settle on that, I'm gonna keep drinking it because it's good. I like it. I feel like I'm drinking a pop, but it's just sparkling water, so no calories, man. No sugar. Alright. 21. I have a bachelor's degree in ag business, so agriculture business. I graduated from college 6 years ago. Seems like so long ago. But yeah, I have a bachelor's degree. Number 22. I have never been pulled over by the cops. I'm 28. I've never been pulled over. I've been with people and been pulled over, but I've never personally been driving and got pulled over for speeding or anything like that. So hopefully I don't have to deal with that, because I'm pretty sure I would cry if they came up to the window. Like if I got pulled over, I'm pretty sure I would cry. Number 23. Newborn babies freak me out. Freshly born babies or even several month old babies make me so nervous. I do not want to hold them, which makes me probably seem like a really cold kind of person, but they make me really nervous. I'm afraid I'm holding them wrong. I mean, even like my own family members try to like hand me their children when they're babies, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable with it. It makes me, I don't like it. And I feel like if I'm holding a baby, everybody's looking at me and like judging the way I'm holding a baby or whatever. So I'm like, I don't even want to do it. Now, that's not to say that if I ever had my own child, I feel like it would be so totally different. But holding other people's kids makes me really nervous. So, number 24, I love routine and organization. So routine, I always wake up, like during the week, I always wake up at the same time, 5 o'clock. And I literally, it would probably be so monotonous to some people, but I do the exact same thing every morning. As far as get up at 5 and like the little things that I do, like turning on the coffee pot, making my husband's lunch, packing his lunch, making breakfast. Like I kind of do things very meticulously. Is that the word? I don't know. But I love having a routine. I love knowing what to expect. I fear the unknown in all aspects of life, I guess. And organization. I love to be organized, like planning things. I like to have a good plan. I love making lists. I love writing stuff down. I think I mentioned on one of my random facts videos from like 5 years ago that I like to somewhat organize my dirty dishes, and I still kind of do that. Whereas like when I'm washing dishes, well, I hand wash all my dishes. So when I pile them in the sink, like I put all the silverware together, I put all the bowls like kind of together, and I'm just kind of a weird person if you haven't figured that out by now. So I love routine and I love organization. Number 25, I still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth. So 3 of them have popped through, and I think they're pretty much where they're going to be at, and they are like right where they need to be. But I don't want to speak too soon. I've got one that's literally bothering me right now. This bottom one down here is kind of trying to surface a little bit. It's just under the gums, but it's kind of sore and it's making me nervous. I don't want to have to get anything removed because we don't have any kind of dental insurance, and I know that would be super expensive to have some kind of surgery done. So I'm hoping he just kind of calms down and stays where he is and doesn't give me any issues. But isn't it kind of odd to still have all your wisdom teeth? I feel like most people get them removed when they're even like before they're 20. A lot of people get them cut out, but luckily most of mine have come in straight and where they need to be. Number 26, I love sleep, and I definitely cherish it. I love to get a good 8 hours every night if I possibly can. I try to always go to bed around 9 o'clock during the week, but even like if on the weekends, I've always had this saying, like, when the sun goes down, I go down, because I guess, I don't know, like if it gets dark outside, I'm like ready for bed most of the time. You've got to, if it's after dark on a weekend or something, I've got to be doing something really fun and like stimulating, like, or else I'm gonna fall asleep. So I love to sleep. Number 27. So almost 2.5 years ago now, my grandma passed away very unexpectedly, and it has been one of the hardest things that I've ever had to deal with. I actually made a whole video kind of talking about it, so I'll link it if you guys want to watch. But we never really got a total answer like what happened, but she had went to town and she was on her way home, and we had like no inkling at all that anything was wrong. I mean, she was kind of in bad health. She had diabetes and like a few other health issues, but like she wasn't particularly feeling bad this day that we knew of. But she was on her way home, and she had just got on our dirt road, where we live. So she was just like a few miles from home, maybe not even that far. And what they told us was that she had some kind of heart attack or some kind of cardiac event, and that caused her to wreck her Jeep. It was a totally random thing, like where she was on the dirt road. She must have like had her heart attack, and then she floored the gas or something, because she flipped her Jeep in a totally random spot, like where you really would have to be going fast or doing something crazy to flip. But that whole day was so traumatic for me and my family, because, you know, it was unexpected. My grandma was very close to me. I can't even, like, I'm already kind of starting to tear up. I can't even talk about it. Even 2.5 years later, I can't talk about it. It was just, I don't know, it was really hard. I was really, really close to my grandma. She, along with my dad, she helped raise me, you know, a lot when I was growing up. She was definitely like a mother figure for sure, but it was just it rocked all of our world when it happened, and it still is. We're still trying to get used to things without her. That's why I kind of mentioned to you guys here and there that I help my grandpa, like cleaning his house and stuff like that, because he's by himself. So yeah, but yeah, losing my grandma was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through, if not the hardest thing I've gone through thus far in my life. And since then, I know I shouldn't, but I have like a fear of family members dying. Like, I have that fear in the back of my head all the time, because I think, you know, I didn't expect my grandma to die that day. So like when my husband leaves for work, or when my dad goes somewhere, or whoever, whatever happens, I'm thinking, am I going to see them again? Are they going to have a wreck and die? I think about that all the time, and I know I shouldn't think that way. But it's definitely made me, kind of think differently, as far as like, you know, cherish your loved ones, spend the time with them, you know, when they're there. and everything. I don't even know where I'm really going with this, but that was just a really traumatic part of my life. So now to change gears, number 28, TV shows. What are some of my favorite TV shows? I love The Office. I have watched that so many times and they crack me up. The earlier seasons. I've watched all of them, but if you've watched The Office, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry, LaCroix. After season 7 or whenever Michael leaves, the show just isn't that great. But I still really like it and I would watch it over and over. I also am obsessed with Teen Mom. I've been watching that show forever. However long, since 16 and Pregnant was on MTV, and I still watch Teen Mom. I'm obsessed with it. I also, any kind of murder documentary on Netflix or any kind of like murder show, I like those, which probably is weird. Well, a lot of people like those kind of shows, but it kind of makes you think like, why do I like watching stuff about people getting murdered? This is weird. Am I okay? But I really like those kind of shows, and I'm really excited because Making a Murderer Part 2 or Season 2, whatever you want to call it, is coming out in like the next week or two. Very excited to watch that on Netflix. Surprisingly, I am not a fan of sitcoms. I do not consider The Office a sitcom because there aren't laugh tracks in the background. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you're watching a show and the character says something and you can hear like an audience of people in the background. That is so annoying to me. If I'm watching a show and there's a laugh track, that's all I can like pay attention to. So like shows like Friends and like Seinfeld, sorry. Seinfeld has a laugh track, doesn't it? Everybody Loves Raymond, all those kind of sitcom-y kind of shows. I don't like them. I just can't get into them. I hate laugh tracks. So yeah. Number 29, I have green eyes. And I think since I'm wearing a green shirt today, it kind of brings them out a little bit. But green eyes are kind of, it's like the rarest color, isn't it, for eyes? My dad has green eyes, my mom has brown eyes, so I ended up getting the green eyes. And number 30. When like all the time growing up, pretty much, I had bangs, like goofy looking bangs. I will definitely insert a picture for you to look at. So I had bangs until I was like 18. So I started college when I was 18 and I just decided I'm over these bangs. They're not cool anymore and they were getting annoying having to trim them all the time. So I finally grew them out and I'm so glad that I did. But bangs, it happened. It was like a 90s thing, but I drug it out through the 2000s for a while. So, alright guys, this is a super long video. Thank you for sticking around as long as you have. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already because I post a brand new video every single Friday. So, this was really fun. I love like sharing more about myself with you guys because I don't really get to do that a lot on like unboxing videos and stuff, so I feel like you guys know me better now. So yeah. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!